Good morning, Elias. Thank you for coming in today. Can you start by telling us a little bit about your background and how you ended up working with the Olympic Games?
Good morning and thank you for receiving me. I've always been passionate about the sports and the event management. I worked my way up through various roles in the sports industry and eventually landed a job with the Olympic Games. It was an incredible experience and I learned so much about the teamwork, logistics, and problem solving under pressure.
That's fascinating. Can you walk us through a particularly challenging situation you faced during the Olympics Games and how are you overcame it?
One of the biggest challenges I faced was during the figure skating events. We had a last minute equipment failure and the athletes were getting anxious. I worked so closely with the technical team to find a solution and we were able to get the equipment just in time. It was a great example of the teamwork and quick thinking under pressure.
Wow, that sounds like high pressure situation. How do you think your experience working with the Olympic Games has prepared you for a role in your company?
I think my experience has taught me the importance of the attention to detail, teamwork, and adaptability. I'm confident that these skills me serve me well in this role, and I'm excited about the opportunity to bring my passion of the sports and the event management to a new challenges.
That's great to hear. And now, can you tell us about a time when you had to work with a difficult team member or a stakeholder? How did you handle the situation?
Yes, there was a situation where I had to work with a vendor who was not meeting our expectations. I took the practical approaching and communication clearly and respectful with the vendor to understand their perspective and find a solution. We will work out a compromise that meet both our needs.
Excellent problem solving skills. Will be touched on to let you know the next steps. Thank you, Elias, for coming today.
Yes, thank you for sharing your experience with us. We'll be considering your application along with others.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to interview. I looking forward to hear you from you soon.
Good morning, Diego. Thank you for your coming today. Can you tell us about a time when you had to think on your feet during in an interview? How did you handle the situation?
Yes. One time I was interviewing a player who was under a lot of pressure after a tough loss. He became emotional and started to get defensive. I had to quickly adjust my approach to help him feel more comfortable and open up. I asked him about his personal experience and how he copes with stress, and that helped to shift the conversation in a more positive direction.
That's great example of adaptability. How do you stay up to date with the latest developments in the sport world? And how do you incorporate that technology into your interviews?
I follow all the major sports, news outlets, and social media platforms to stay current. I also try to anticipate what topics will be relevant to my interview subjects so I can ask informed and thoughtful questions. It's essential to be knowledge about the sports industry to conduct effective interviews.
That's impressive. Can you walk us through your process for creating questions that get you the heart of the matter? What makes a good question in your opinion?
For me, it's all about being curious and genuinely interested in that subject's perspective. I try to ask open-ended questions in the subject perspective. I try to ask open-ended questions that encourage them to share deep thoughts and feelings. I also avoid asking questions can be answered with a simple yes or no, as those they don't tend to lead the marginal conversation.
That's great approach. How do you handle a situation where the interview subject it's not forthcoming or seems uncomfortable? That's great approach. How do you handle situation where the interview subject is not forthcoming or seems uncomfortable? What strategies do you use to build trust and get them to open up?
I try to establish a rapport with the subject by finding common ground or shared experience. I also make sure to listen actively and respond thoughtfully, which can help build trust and create a more relaxed atmosphere. If the subject is still hesitant, I might to try to rephrase the question or approach the topic from a different angle.
Excellent. We'll be in touch soon to let you know the next steps. Thank you, Diego.
Yes, thank you for your sharing your experience with us. Will be consideration your application along with others.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to interview. I'm looking forward to hearing from you soon.
Good morning, Jesus. Thank you for coming today. We are excited to learn more about your experience. Interweave celebrates and the Oscars. Can you tell us about a particularly memorable conversation you had with a lead actor or actress?
I guess all my most memorable conversation was with Mary Streep. We talked about her approach to acting and her thoughts on the industry. What struck me was her humility and willingness to share her experience. It was a fantastic conversation that gave me insight into her perspective.
That's impressive. You've had the opportunity to interview many celebrities over the years. How do you balance being respectful and professional while also getting to the heart of the matter?
I believe it's essential to be genuine and aesthetic in your approach. I found that when I truth interesting in the persons and their works, it shows in the conversation. I am not afraid to ask those questions. Would I do so in way that's respectful and the consideration of their feelings?
That's great approach. Can you walk us through your process for you preparing for an interview with a celebrity? How do you research and plan your questions?
I start with thought resting, the celebrity works, and the current project. I also try to anticipate what topics will be relevant to the theme and their audience. I plan my question carefully. Would I also prepare to the from my scale? In the conversation, take an interactive tour.
You've worked with many high profile celebrities. How do you handle the pressure and security that's come with interview listening?
I learned to stay focused on the conversation and the person in front of me. I try not to get distracted with them glamour on the family. It focus on having a genuine conversation. It's also essential to be prepared and thinkable about the topic at hand.
Excellent. We are looking for someone who can bring a high level of expertise and professionalism to her team. Based on your experience and skills, why do you think you'd be a good fit for this role?
I believe my experience interviews celebrity and the Oscar has given me a unique perspective and strengths that could be worldwide in this role. It comforted my ability to conduct two full and gain interviews, and I am experienced about the opportunity to bring my experiences to a new chance.
Thank you, Jesus, for sharing your experiences with us today. We'll be in the touch zone to let you know the next steps.
Thank you. Apprentice to opportunity to interview. I looking for to hear from you soon.
Fine. How did you find H1 interview?
I found them very interesting. Elias lacks experience, but being in the Olympic Games, it's a great opportunity.
And what do you think about Diego interview?
He has the ability to make people feel confident, with it's a very impressive skill, but he should leave sport reportings and look the news opportunities. Yes, I agree. His experience in the Oscar is impressive. I like his professional demeanor during the interview and he asked thoughtful and relevant questions.
Exactly. I think he would be a great asset to our team. What do you think about offering him the position?
Yeah, I think I would be an excellent decision. What do you think about making him a offer and the setting how the response?
That sounds good to me. Let's make him the offer and see how the develops. I'm confident he'll do great work, but I don't want him to get too comfortable. I want him to keep working hard.
Of course, let's make to after see how to goes. I'm sure here do a great job.